Health food is often just junk food with better PR. One food on this list has a glycemic index higher than a spoonful of sugar, and it's sold as a diet snack. Counting down from 12 to 1, here is every healthy food that's actually bad for you explained. Number 12. Celery juice. Celery juice went from a niche health trend to a full wellness culture ritual in the late 2000s, popularized largely by online influencers claiming it heals everything from bloating to autoimmune disease, claims with no clinical backing in peer-reviewed research. Nutritionally, a glass is overwhelmingly water and sodium, with the juicing process stripping out nearly all the fiber that made whole celery worth eating in the first place. The mechanism is simple. Celery itself has minimal calories or nutrients to begin with, so juicing concentrates what little sodium and trace vitamins exist while removing the fiber that would have been the actual benefit. Dietitians have repeatedly pointed out there's essentially no mechanism for the specific detox claims attached to it. Number 11. Plant-based meat substitutes. Leading pea protein and soy protein burger patties are frequently formulated with coconut oil as a fat binder, which can push saturated fat content to match or exceed a traditional beef patty, alongside sodium levels commonly above 350 to 400 milligrams per serving. Coconut oil is the go-to substitute because it turns solid at room temperature, just like animal fat does. But that means the saturated fat these burgers are supposed to help you avoid ends up back on the plate anyway. The American Heart Association has noted that plant-based doesn't automatically mean heart-healthy once a product is this processed. Number 10. Almond milk. Some mainstream almond milks contain as little as 2% actual almonds, with the rest made up of water, gums like carrageenan or locust bean gum, and stabilizers to mimic dairy's texture. The protein gap is the real tell. A cup of almond milk can carry around 1 gram of protein, compared to roughly 8 grams in a cup of dairy milk or soy milk. The mechanism is dilution. Almonds are expensive relative to water, so commercial formulas minimize the nut content while thickeners fake the mouthfeel. Flavored versions often add sugar on top, meaning a product bought for being lighter than dairy can end up nutritionally thinner across the board, not just in calories. Marketing built on origin only gets you so far. Next up, what's concentrated or stripped out along the way? Number 9. Trail mix and dried fruit. Drying fruit concentrates its sugar by removing water weight, so a handful of raisins or dried mango can pack in the sugar of a candy bar within a fraction of the volume. Easy to overeat without the bulk that would normally signal stop. Many commercial dried fruits are also treated with sulfur dioxide as a preservative to keep their color, which can trigger reactions in sulfite-sensitive individuals. Trail mix compounds the issue by adding chocolate pieces, candy-coated add-ins, or oil-roasted nuts loaded with extra salt. What started as a hiking staple in the 1970s has, in its modern grocery store form, drifted closer to confectionery than trail food. Number 8. Seed oils. Canola, soybean, corn, and sunflower oil are marketed as heart-healthy swaps for butter or lard, largely because they're lower in saturated fat, but they're also high in omega-6 fatty acids, and some researchers argue the modern diet's omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, driven partly by seed oil consumption, may promote low-grade inflammation. The mechanism. These oils are typically extracted using high heat and chemical solvents, then refined and deodorized, a process some critics argue degrades the oil before it even reaches the shelf. The heart-healthy label reflects one metric, saturated fat, while sidestepping a debate researchers haven't settled. Number 7. Flavored yogurt. A single cup of flavored low-fat yogurt can carry 20 to 25 grams of added sugar, more than a glazed donut in some cases. Removing fat from yogurt removes flavor and mouthfeel, so manufacturers compensate with sugar, syrups, or fruit-on-the-bottom preserves that are essentially jam. The mechanism is a straightforward trade. Strip fat, add sucrose or high-fructose corn syrup to keep it palatable. Plain Greek yogurt avoids this almost entirely, which is why nutritionists routinely flag the flavored aisle specifically, not yogurt as a category. Read as dessert with a probiotic alibi. Concentrated sugar and stripped-down fat keep repeating. The next 3 lean on a protein or natural sweetener label to distract from the rest. Number 6. Protein bars. Some mainstream protein bars carry as much sugar, saturated fat, and calories as an actual candy bar. Researchers and dietitians have specifically compared certain brands' nutrition panels to chocolate bars side by side. The mechanism is binding. Bars need sugar alcohols, syrups, or chocolate coatings to hold protein isolate together and make it edible, and manufacturers often lean on cheap sweeteners to hit a price point. Some also use sugar alcohols like maltitol, which can cause digestive distress in larger amounts. The protein claim on the front is real. It's just accompanied by a dessert's worth of everything else. Number 5. Agave nectar. Marketed for years as a low-glycemic, diabetic-friendly sugar substitute, agave nectar is actually 70 to 90% fructose by composition, a higher concentration than high-fructose corn syrup, which typically runs 42 to 55%. That's actually why agave scores low on the glycemic index. Fructose doesn't spike blood sugar the way glucose does, but it's not a free pass. Nearly all of that fructose gets sent straight to your liver to process, and research on high-fructose diets links heavy intake to fatty liver buildup and higher triglycerides. Several nutrition researchers have called the diabetic-friendly marketing misleading given the fructose load. It swapped one metabolic problem for a quieter one. Number 4. Beef jerky. Beef jerky trades on a lean protein, gym bag reputation, but a small 1-ounce serving can carry 400 to 600 milligrams of sodium, close to a quarter of a day's intake, plus added sugar in many brands to balance the salt cure flavor. The mechanism is preservation. Jerky relies on nitrates or nitrites and heavy salting to prevent spoilage without refrigeration, the same curing chemistry used in bacon and deli meat. The World Health Organization has classified processed meat, jerky included, as a Group 1 carcinogen based on colorectal cancer risk evidence, the same evidence strength category as tobacco, though not the same magnitude of risk. From here on, it's sugar concentration doing the damage, and it only gets more extreme. Number 3. Fruit juice and smoothies. A glass of orange juice can carry close to 24 grams of sugar, in the range of a can of cola, because juicing strips out nearly all the fiber that would normally slow sugar absorption in the whole fruit. Bottled smoothies push it further. Blending ruptures plant cell walls, releasing sugar faster than chewing would, and one bottle can pack several servings of fruit into 40+ grams of sugar. Both separate sugar from the fiber that used to control how fast it hit your bloodstream. The American Academy of Pediatrics specifically recommends limiting juice for young children for this reason. 100% juice and cold-pressed describe purity, not moderation. Number 2. Acai bowls and granola. A shop-bought acai bowl can run 500 to 700 calories and 60 to 90 grams of sugar once granola, honey, and fruit are stacked on a pre-sweetened puree base, and the granola on top has its own problem. A cup of standard granola alone can carry 400 to 600 calories and 20+ grams of sugar, mostly from the honey, brown sugar, or oil used to bind and toast tea oats into clusters. In both cases, a naturally low-sugar base, tart acai, plain oats, gets buried under sweeteners and fat, then served in a portion far larger than anyone would eyeball as a serving. Stack the two together, as most bowls do, and you've built a dessert wearing a smoothie bowl's clothes. Number 1. Rice cakes. Plain rice cakes are often positioned as the ultimate diet food, low-calorie, low-fat, seemingly virtuous. But puffed rice has a glycemic index in the 80s, occasionally tested above 90, putting it above table sugar and in the same range as glucose itself on some scales. The mechanism: the puffing process gelatinizes the rice starch almost completely, breaking it down into a form the body absorbs and converts to blood glucose extremely fast, with essentially no fiber, fat, or protein to slow the spike. Some endocrinology researchers have specifically flagged rice cakes as a poor snack choice for anyone managing blood sugar precisely because of how efficiently that starch converts.